Hi there, my name is John Hill. I am a professional skateboarder and I am living near Dallas, Texas, where this skate park, or kind of close to where this skate park is being built, which is exciting because Texas already has a ton of skate parks and now Dickies is putting their foot forward, which is interesting because obviously you don't want to build something that people have seen. And they did not. So this skate park is pretty quirky, as you can see right now. There are these ledges everywhere. I assume obviously they're building concrete at the bottom. But it's strange because everything is, you'll see as we go along, but the angle iron is not just straight. There is no real common obstacle at the skate park like you might see. You might see different variations of a straight ledge, but this park seems to have a lot more to offer, which I actually think is a great thing. If you have some of the basics, why not experiment and try new things to see if skateboarders can kind of get out of their realm? So you have this obstacle here. Not sure why the angle iron is on the inside of the planters, but I think it'll be fun. This right here is kind of cool because the hubba and the handrail are a little lower than you might be used to, so you don't have to ollie as high, and now that contests are becoming just as popular as street skating, I think this is actually a great place to practice tricks for a contest if you're into that, or just getting better at skating. Now, I've noticed that some Texas parks have something quirky like this where the ledges, they'll bend in the middle and they'll go straight into a slant. Like you see on the left, you grind and you basically end up on the slant. This middle obstacle is pretty familiar. This flat rail has Dickies emblem on it. You see the big D here. There's a lot of D's all over the park. Good pyramid here. Nothing better than just a smooth concrete pyramid. These quarter pipes look pretty familiar. I'll be spending a lot of time on these tiny 2-foot ones because transition is difficult, but I'm sure this park will help. I like this little flat gap in the middle, and these A-frame rails look pretty perfect. I feel like you can get enough speed on one direction, but coming from the quarter pipes on the left, it might be a bit difficult. Also, I'm not sure what they're going to do with that building to the right because right now it's for lease. So maybe Dickies will also put some money into buying that property. Who knows? I think they're going to fill in this part right here that I'm walking on with concrete. There's these ledges on the right, so obviously they're going to need something there. But it's interesting. There's a ledge that drops to another ledge, and you rarely see that at any skate park. And there's a lot of things, as you'll see, that are just kind of jutting out that you don't really know how to utilize. Like this ledge on the bottom here below the top ledge on the left is really close to the top ledge. And I don't know why they would do that, but I still feel like they're trying to open up visions to new opportunities. Plus these cars driving by were pretty cool and they're loud, so I'm sparing you the audio of the actual clip. This obstacle weirded me out. You ride onto the angle iron and you grind. Maybe they're gonna fill it in with some grass. Not quite sure how to go about this part, but there's a bunch of different paths you can take. I'm guessing they're gonna fill that in with another ledge because it's the same D shape as you see cut out in a lot of areas. Right here, that's a fun wall to ride. But you can't really do much else in the snake run besides that, but I think that's great for a lot of beginners. On the right side, you'll see there's a lot of curbs and way different heights for these ledges coming up, which is a bit strange. This quarter pipe is perfect. There's, this is the classic, what you'll find at a lot of skate parks. So there are a few obstacles that you see kind of all over the place. Again, I think they're filling up this area with concrete, but this ledge on the left might be the closest thing to a normal ledge they have, but look how it curves at the end. I'm not really sure the point of this weird jaggedness in the end or in the middle, but I do think it's cool. I keep saying that. Right here, they have two mirrored obstacles. They have this bank, and hopefully people will wax the top, and you'll be able to skate both these banks the same. Again, here are the D's that I'm talking about. You can grind, go to the curb. There's another one coming up. So these are two mirrored obstacles. The second one, same as the first one. Not sure what they're gonna do behind it, but obviously if you wax the top a lot, it'll be fun. But it's also one of those obstacles that become dangerous and probably one of the things that will be talked about the most. Who waxed this obstacle? You better not. This is another mirrored ledge from the other side of the skate park. And again, you have a lot of these banks. I feel like there's a lot of beginner-friendly obstacles. You could drop in on this ramp, and then you go to the new ramp. Again, another cutout of a D. So I don't know why I can't just be mature about this. This big area, I'm not sure what's happening, but look at these massive, massive beams. I don't know what they'll be holding. Hopefully lights. And then this will be incredible because then I could spend a lot of time here. But on the left, you see how the angle iron keeps bending and prodding. And even right here, I don't know really the point of this middle area. Another D. Everybody look, it's another D. Ledges, and it's right here. You see this, you can grind this ledge and go into the bank straight ahead, but why does it curve at the end like that? I find that really interesting. I find this obstacle on the left, this ramp that goes up to this slanted ledge, really interesting because this little part that goes up with angle iron and this little top part that's like a foot long, I don't fully understand the point. I'm always going to be excited to try to skate something new, and how this right here is a curb up instead of just fluid. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of D display and it's important to get the emblem out there, but how important? But I know that a lot of skateboarders worked on this as well. So I think that people were genuinely just, as I've said a million times, trying to bring a very unique flavor to Texas skate parks, because if you look at skate parks like Roanoke or Chisholm, which I skate all the time, they're basically parks that have everything you need, but they've kind of amplified them a little bit to create a whole new way of skating something that you're familiar with, which is what I'm hoping that this park provides. And I'm sure that once it's fully built and you see everything together and you actually start skating it, you'll immediately understand kind of the point of some of these stranger obstacles. Like this one on the right, I kept filming it because I just couldn't really understand how it would be utilized the most. But I like on the left here, with this D straight ahead, you can skate over the bank on this out ledge. That part makes a lot of sense. You can skate this straight ledge right here. I'm not sure how you're going to grind the inside, but then this ledge just goes straight into this bank for seemingly no apparent reason. This backside, I'm assuming they're going to have it flush with the bottom line of that ledge. Otherwise, it would be a very tall flat ledge. This bank right here is pretty steep, but this is the part that I thought was very interesting. A lot of skate parks will, on the side, have kind of a snake run roller coaster type thing like this, but this one is clearly built more ingrained into the park, more for skateboarding. So it's not a BMX pump track, and I guess it could be used as such, but the way that it slants here and the way there's some flat parts and the way that it's more quirky looking, how it kind of bends to the right and to the left, seems like they're trying to kind of add a more whimsical effect to something that seems to exist in a lot of skate parks now. And honestly, as much as I think a lot of experienced skateboarders don't tend to want to skate parts of parks like this, it seems like beginners love it, especially bikers, especially kids. Anytime they go to a skate park and they see one of these, they immediately go over there, and they are really fun. I enjoy pumping them, as strange as that sounds, but this is kind of it. This is the Dickies skate park, and this whole area is still going to be filled in. And then I just walked around some more, and you can see that as I actually pull up the article written about this whole build. It's a $1.6 million skate plaza. They're saying, what took so long? Because 5 years ago, the Fire Station Community Center, they kind of showcased what the park was going to look like. And Near Southside Inc. sponsored a series of community meetings about the expansion, plus the skateboard community lobbied for a skate park to be a central feature, which is going to be actually amazing for the community because this is right by a pretty popular road called Magnolia Road. And also there's a skate shop on this road that contributed to this project. They actually raised $80,000, Magnolia Skate Shop, and then $300,000 was donated by the VF Foundation, which is the parent company to Dickies. And all of these things made the skate plaza possible. There's also going to be a dog park. I'm not really sure. Hopefully they don't fit that in the area that was being constructed. I'm sure it'll be slightly behind it. The city council recently increased the project's funding by $1 million to add a steel pavilion pump track pedestrian walkway. So the actual improvements and construction of this park is almost $2.7 million, which I know in retrospect seems like a lot, but I feel like to knock out a project like this, it does, it requires a pretty penny. You got to hire a lot of people to build a lot of things for a lot of time, and you got to buy the land. And in Dallas and all these surrounding cities, land is becoming just as expensive as places like LA pretty quickly. I am genuinely very excited about this park opening up, and of course I will be documenting the process as we go along. I'll probably film it in a few months when it's actually filled in, and then a few months after that when it actually opens. So I hope you enjoyed this first look of Dickies' new quirky skate park. I am very pumped for it, as I've said before. I know some things I said may have seemed like I was kind of down on certain things, but I'm just a very picky skateboarder, I would say. And I think all the things that I typically would look at and go, ooh, that's a bit odd, I end up loving anyways. So yeah, look forward to the skateboarding that's going to happen here in the future, and I hope you enjoyed this little tour. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.